backwards. Well, that's the Michael Dunlop of old. Locker has burst through. He had a terrible start last time. Look at Locker. He's pushing up to the lead. They're four abreast almost as they go along the flying kilo. Cameron Donald has got it just ahead of them all. Guy Martin looking to sneak ahead, but it's the Australian who's going to lead them down to Leathamstown for the first time in this restarted race. What a cracking start. Michael Dunlop, that's the thing of old. So many times he was so sluggish off the line, but he always had to play catch up. That's what he's doing. He goes past Anstey and he's made it up to behind Ian Locker. And Michael Dunlop, all action, 100% hero on the roads.
Well, look, Ian Locker, not the senior citizen of this class of racing, but that wasn't a very senior start, was it? It was very butch and aggressive, but he's going backwards a bit now. Cameron Donald has made the break. Keith Moore just going back behind Guy Martin there. And it is all to play for, as you were saying in the first start. If you're there, you're in with a shout, and they are all there, aren't they?
Cameron Donald's doing the right thing. Have you heard the one about the Englishman, the Welshman, the Australian, the Scotsman, the Irishman? They're all in there.
They certainly are. And they're not joking, they are not kidding. This is serious stuff once again.
Yeah, Cameron Donald's doing the right thing, really. He's trying to break away from the pack because it was, especially in the 600s, they all start sucking each other back and slipstreaming and getting each other's drafts and what have you. Cameron Donald trying to break away, but he's not managing to do that so far. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, double figures. That's how many potential race winners there are.
That is a breathtaking corner they have just come around. If you haven't ridden it yourself, you won't know, but that is a man's corner, even though it doesn't look like it on the TV. There's a lot of those here, but it's just one of the reasons why this circuit is so good and why there are so many people coming in to watch it. Yes!
Yep. Keith Moore goes through on Guy Martin, so new second place then. But he's trying to reel in Cameron Donald. And also as well, Richard, the track much drier this time than we saw in the earlier Superstock race. We're on board with Michael Dunlop yet again. Watch him close in. That looks like William in front of him, is it?
Dry roads everywhere, Dave, at the moment, but the weather's so changeable.
Keith Moore, sorry, Rich. Keith Moore is going to try and go up the inside of Cameron Donald here. Not on this occasion, though. No. Look at that. That's what, 1/6 of them there. A 12-wheel runaway express train on the Dundrod circuit. They're up at Wheelers.
Top of the circuit now. Cameron Donald, top of the world at the moment. Keith Moore right behind him, looking for the inside. We've seen passing manoeuvres here, but that wasn't it.
William Dunlop goes through on Guy Martin, though. So William Dunlop up to third, down to Lindsay Hairpin, and there's about 4 different lines around the hairpin. So, oh, look at the speed that Cameron Donald's carrying there. William Dunlop trying to get the inside of a Michael Dunlop goes up the inside of Johnson. Does he? Oh, Johnson into it. He must be down. I thought he was down then. He was leading right into Michael Dunlop. Johnson's lost a bit of momentum because of that. He's lost the drive out of the turn.
Hasn't he just? Wow. He's bounced off, hasn't he?
And we're looking at still Cameron Donald leading them round. What an opening lap this is. Wave the checkered flag now. We've had enough incident in this first lap to last us a whole race.
Is it only 1 lap? I thought it was about 6. Back on board with Michael Dunlop, and he's riding solo now instead of with Gary Johnson on the bike with him.
He's closing in on William as well. Look at the speed from Michael Dunlop. Trying to go through, carrying the speed around the turns.
See how the weather is different here. It's gone dark. There's wet patches back on the road. It's very difficult for the riders.
This is going to have a new race leader now because Cameron Donald is certainly down past the flying kilo. You'd fancy him more to pull out the slipstream of the Australian here. He's tucked in right behind.
Trying to break the slipstream, Cameron Donald.
Oh, Michael Dunlop out of his seat. Guy Martin, Johnson and Bruce Anstey, who's tagged onto the back of this group as well now. And a more, well, fair play to Cameron Donald. That 600 has got so much speed. Oh, front wheel wobble from Moore as he goes through as well. Cameron Donald does the sensible thing. He's going to try and tuck inside him. Is he into Leathamstown? Cameron Donald, perhaps.
Did you say sensible? I'm sure you said sensible then, and this is not sensible, is it?
He's sensible, keeping out of the way of the keynote. Keith Moore from the helicopter shot looked as if his front wheel tucked from under him. There goes Cameron Donald. I think Donald 600 in a straight line is the fastest bike out there. Oh, William Dunlop now coming through. Johnson as well. Michael Donald's back in 5th place. How's that happened?
There's 4 people there who disagree with you about the speed of Cameron Donald's bike.
They're getting towed along, I think, Rich. They're getting towed. They're trying to pull out this slipstream.
Watch Keith Moore. Watch Keith Moore here. This is where he's so strong last year. This is where he won it all last year.
Donald, though, again, he's got the speed and he can carry the speed into the turn and he can still hold on. Cameron Donald is dictating this race at present because he's inch perfect. He's not making any mistakes. He's got the most powerful bike out there, and even out of his slipstream, they can't pull past him.
Cameron Donald very much back on form, so quick through here, so easy to get it wrong. and Keith Moore right behind him, and then there's just a queue. There is no spaces, there's not a bike's length between them.
And look at the guys that we're not talking about, the Locker, McGuinness, those people behind, they're not in this group. That shows the depth of quality, the strength of quality that we've got again at the Ulster Grand Prix. Oh, they're making a break for it. Gary Johnson looked as if he was under pressure there from Dunlop.
He's pulled back though.
Oh, here goes Keith Moore though on Cameron Donald. He
This
might
time
have him into it, got into the right-hand kink. No, he backed off, and he had to really. There was no way through. William Dunlop, is it? Yes, William Dunlop, I think, in third place. Guy Martin further back, just behind Michael Dunlop. We're on board with Michael Dunlop now. Looks like William Dunlop, is he going through perhaps? Oh, he has. So William Dunlop goes through.
Yes, he has.
And look at that. It looks as if Michael Dunlop's trying to get through as well. Gary Johnson's still in fourth place. It's still Cameron Donald. Oh, and Moore's gone wide. Yeah, and Moore's gone wide.
Here we go.
And he's going to lose 2 places here. That's Gary Johnson through. Michael Dunlop is through as well. Oh, William Dunlop up the inside of Cameron Donald. Super riding from William Dunlop. We know how good he is on a 600.
Cameron Donald just didn't see that one coming. We saw the black magic of the slipstream at work there, and how, but we weren't expecting that. Now William Dunlop's going to be right late on the
Gary
race.
Johnson, mistake from Johnson. He's
right
gone
on the
wide.
outside.
Yeah, so he's out of it. I think that's it from Gary. Oh, down goes Johnson.
Thrown himself away.
Oh,
how did he do that? You can see shaking his hands, and it gassed it up on the grass.
Yeah, back wheel on the grass as he tried to get on. Top of the dip.
That's it. You know what he was saying, don't you? Exactly.
Oh, Michael Dunlop, how did he push that through there?
Where are we? What's going on?
It's William Dunlop from Michael Dunlop from Cameron Donald. That's how they are over the line. Guy Martin in fourth place, and it looks as if he's coming under threat from a Moore. Ethan Moore looks like he's going to take... Oh, in fact, I'm going to say Michael Dunlop's going to take William Dunlop here as he's going to go down the flying kilo again.
And it is Michael Dunlop on William Dunlop. Is he through? Yes, he is. No.
Not this time. Wow. What a race. Well, there's Gary Johnson.
This boy is going to go on winning for years and years and years.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're both at their game. Where they were both weak in the past, they've now both improved.
Yep.
Here we go down to the hairpin. Now, William tends not to hook into the hairpin so much. Michael seems to hug it much more. As you can see, there's a gap there. No. William doesn't tend to follow doesn't hook into the hairpin as much as, and Michael seems to follow the line. If he hooks into the white line, and look at the drive he's trying to get out of William as well.
William was minding his own business, going through the hairpin, and all of a sudden his brother stuck the front wheel up beside him and said, "Hey, remember me? This is the Yamaha."
Michael really likes it through this section. This is through quarries, of course. They're going to chalk off another lap. This race reduced, of course.
He's trying it everywhere, isn't he?
There's no other cross between these two. Inch perfect from both of them as well.
Absolutely, they trust each other, they know each other's riding. Of course, they can almost predict what's going to happen, but who can predict this? Down the kilo.
Down the kilo. Michael Donald should nudge his nose in front. We should see Cameron Donald going through as well. A glance over from Michael to have a look at William. Side by side. It might be William, you know. No, it's not. It's Michael. Michael gets into the lead. We're looking back at Ryan Farquhar.
Well, that was just a little bit of track position working for William there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Michael's got the lead of this race. They go into Leathamstown. They're breaking away at the front.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm going to call that a breakaway yet.
Well, these two, going back to Cameron Donald, there's a gap there, isn't there, to third. Then it's Guy Martin. Bruce Anstey's past Keith Moore. Keith Moore had a look around to see if there's anyone else coming as well.
Nope.
Or is it just this half a dozen? Oh,
here he comes.
Out of the slipstream of brother Michael.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was just as easy as you like.
Now watch him. Look at the speed. We saw that before from Michael Donald, didn't we, as well? William carrying a lot more speed into the top of Deers Leap than Michael.
Well, Wilson Craig does prepare those Hondas immaculately. That team does turn out the bikes. Honda versus Yamaha, who knows?
Exactly.
Might be a little bit in it, mightn't there?
Possibly. Cameron Donald's not out of this either. We're looking at Michael and William Dunlop at the front. Cameron could close in on them, perhaps. They're coming down towards Islands. Again, this time, see Michael just quicker into the turn that time, carrying the speed through. So obviously they've got their corners where they're hot and not so hot, and the ones that they enjoy and they don't enjoy so much.
It's trying to get the drive, isn't it? You want to run up the hill and everything. This circuit is so great because every bit of it counts. There aren't any places where you can say, well, I could afford to back off there or get that wrong. You've got to be on it everywhere. It's all working.
That's right. So here we go then. Michael Dunlop is going to try and slipstream his brother William. There he goes. And he'll now the kinks to the right. So Michael Dunlop takes the lead from William.
So it's not a Yamaha Honda thing after all. It's a slipstream thing. That's all it is.
And here comes William fighting back, pulling out of the slipstream. And they're again into the right hand, coming up to the top here. There we go. William Dunlop appears ahead again. And this is what they call a ding-dong.
It is. It's also true, as we've said several times before, that when you're in someone's slipstream, not only do you get a tow, but you suck them back, you pull them back, so you're actually slowing down the bike in front, and that's why you're getting this kind of catapult effect that you're seeing from the helicopter particularly, and we've seen between these two, swapping places. It's just a question really of who gets the best drop nearest the checkered flag at the moment.
You see it certain short circuits. This is what's unique really about road racing, certainly here in the Northwest 200. And watch William this time goes wide, always opens that goal. There we go.
That wrong, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's just a little bit wider into the turn every time. Michael Dunlop's exploited it again. Michael knew William was going to do that, or I bet he had an idea that William was going to do that. He certainly, again, if you watch him again, Michael really hugs the line as he goes around the hairpin. William tends to drift out, and that leaves that door open. But as I say, the short circuits, there's only really, I can think of Thruxton before the chicane where that slipstreaming works into there. They all get sucked in. Yet that's happening all the way around as Michael Dunlop uses every inch of the track and more around, and they come across the line. Bruce Anstey still, in fact, he's up to 4th place now. We didn't see him go past Guy Martin. They get the last lap flag. Guy Martin is trying to pull out the slipstream of Cameron Donald, and what a story that would be. We've concentrated on the Dunlop so much in the front, and look at Bruce Anstey.
Yes.
Where's he come from? Side by side with Donald, and about to take 3rd place from the Australian Michael and William as well.
There are 5 riders in a 3-second spread going across the start-finish line at the beginning of this last lap. So it is still anybody's game, and they're still at it down the field. Look at the people, again,
Bruce
we're not
Anstey.
talking about.
Look at Bruce Anstey now, though, Richard, into Leathamstown, and he's closed right on them, and I'm going to get my hand in my pocket in a minute and see if I can get a bet on Bruce Anstey, because you wouldn't have got one on him a lap ago. So Bruce Anstey right behind William Dunlop, Michael Dunlop still leading them, and Bruce Anstey looking to pull into 2nd place. There goes William into the lead. Will we see Bruce Anstey coming through as well? Wow, this is fantastic.
Drops back to 3rd, and it's still the Dunlops out in front. So William leads Michael at the moment. Bruce Anstey's definitely got his name on the podium, hasn't he? Cameron Donald isn't done yet, though.
I haven't checked. I'm sure he's got his name on the fastest lap for the last time around. But Bruce Anstey in 3rd place. Spots of rain on the lens there as well. So that might just come into play. There might just be a chance of some back marks as Ryan Farquhar moves up 1 position. So we're looking down then at William Dunlop. Michael Dunlop still in 2nd place. Bruce Anstey 3rd. We're on board with Michael Dunlop. This is the man in 2nd place, following his brother. And you'd have to say Cameron Donald and Guy Martin might be out of it now. It's a 3-way fight at the front.
He was right on the grass there. William checks over his shoulder. We've got half a lap to go, 3.5 miles basically of this Dundrod circuit. A Dunlop is going to win this, but I don't know which one.
It might be Anstey, and
he's got a tall. That's a big ask even for Bruce.
It is.
Even for the slipstream here. We're going uphill. He's not close enough, but Michael is.
Oh no. So Dunlop, William is still carrying, it was like the rev limiter kicked in there with Michael, wasn't it?
It's almost like he got too close back up.
And that would be a first. So Bruce Anstey pulling up the inside the slipstream of Michael Dunlop. Will we get a face full of Bruce Anstey in a second? We've got a face full of William Dunlop almost. No, Anstey's not coming through. Again,
we are.
Here we go, there we go.
No, that's the same again, isn't it? Got right up on the back wheel and then just had to get out of it.
This is at Wheelers, down towards Tornagroff.
I've got to take it back about Bruce Anstey. Look, he's right there, isn't he? He's suddenly closed that gap up in the slipstream, got the toe and he's there. It's a 3-way battle.
But we've seen this every lap so far, Richard. William Dunlop has led into the hairpin. He was out of his seat there almost. He's led into the hairpin. Now watch. I say he doesn't hug the white line as much as Michael tends to. He's trying to defend that line. He's trying to hook in as much as he can. That's it. He drifts wide every time. He just Dunlop William out of the scene again. I think he needs to be about half a yard further over to his left as he goes into the hairpin just to protect it so he can hook back in for the exit. But he's having to go back. But I tell you what, it's a brave man. It's a very hard man who beats Michael Dunlop between here and the checkered flag. And Michael Dunlop waits so many times for wins to come along the Ulster, and it looks as if 2 are going to come back to back.
Well, it certainly looks as though William did the same thing at the hairpin and gave his brother the opening he wanted. He saw Michael, as you say, go high and wide and dive back across, and William just let him do it, and I don't think he'll let that happen again.
Here we go then, Michael Dunlop, two-time winner at the Ulster Grand Prix. Yes, there you go.
And the result, 0.3 of a second. It didn't really look that much between first and second place there. Bruce Anstey did indeed have his name on the podium.
Did you time it to perfection? Was that always in your thinking?
Aye, I knew I'd have a go in the last lap, you know, but I played and played, and it was nice, yeah, good crack. Just sit in there and watch, but can't say more, but what it was unreal. What a great race, just chap, I was riding the wheels off it, and I was riding the wheels of this, and two bikes were equal. Great racing with somebody that you can dice with, you know what I mean, properly, good tight racing.
We're already writing new chapters in the Ulster's Book of Legends, and there are 3 more races left to run. Pick a winner out of this, Dave.
Well, I think it's not so much pick a winner, it's pick a tyre for this, because obviously they've not had any dry practice. They're looking for a setup, and tyres, or choice of tyre, is going to be a lottery, because this could be a race that goes damp once we get going.